You are not going to want to miss this update.
Kind of unbelievable.
So, what happened yesterday?
We went to monitoring yesterday morning. We happened to have to go in together. It happened twice since we've been stimming 3 days apart. Yesterday was day 14 for me and
Day 11 for me.
So we walk in, check in. I got there without Jill because we drove separately. And the front desk lady said, "Where's your wife?" I said, "She's behind me." She checked her in. She is really tickled that we're married and we're both doing it. So she's really sweet though. They're all really sweet there. And so we had our monitoring appointment, and then we waited what felt like forever yesterday because they were super busy yesterday morning and I was not busy. So I don't know. It felt like a really long day.
Yeah,
So
we were just kind of waiting to see. I think we had a feeling that like tomorrow we were hearing about you.
Yeah, because the day before when I had monitoring, the woman said, I think we'll see you tomorrow. I don't know, because she was ultrasound tech. She said, "I'm not sure, but they could tell you to trigger, but I think we'll see you tomorrow." I said, "Okay." So I saw them yesterday. I saw them tomorrow, yesterday. And everything had grown, everything is good, big, ready to trigger, is what I could tell from seeing them. And then I got a call yesterday afternoon from our doctor. Came from a local number, not the doctor's office, which is strange, but what did you point out? It might have been their other office, which is in the suburbs of Chicago, because whenever she calls, it's usually the office number. It comes up like her name on both of our phones. So it was just kind of strange that it said like a suburb. So maybe it was an office number or her cell. I don't know. That would be strange to me. But
yeah.
She was definitely at work because I heard her talking to, I think maybe a nurse or something like that. They're asking her to pull up our charts and stuff. So she called and she said, "Okay, I just wanted to explain the situation where we're at right now with you and with Jillian." And I said, "Okay." And she said that, believe it or not, we were both ready to trigger yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I know. I was like, wow. We had asked her some questions and she was like, "Well, that would be if you guys happen to have a retrieval on the same day," which is an extremely rare instance. She's like, "That we can't,
highly unlikely.
We can't even plan that." And so she was just, I think she was just in shock that it worked out that way as were both of us, I would say. So she laid out options for me. She said, you have 3 that are big and ready and 1 that might get there, might not. So it's kind of like splitting the difference of my 2 cycles. My first cycle, we had like 1. We converted it to an IUI, and obviously that didn't work. And then my second cycle, we got out 6. So, hi, Eddie. So 3 or 4, it's kind of, somewhere in the middle. And she said she feels like it's a good number to retrieve. She said above 3, they say do an IVF retrieval. Below 3, they say to do an IUI. And at 3, it's kind of up to you. So, but with my numbers, and it doesn't hurt to give it a try. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's risk with an IVF retrieval, but it's not. She said it's minimal. And I've already been through one, so I was like, yeah, that's fine. Let's go. So she said we could do the IUI, or we could do egg retrieval, freeze and do another cycle, or if I'm done, it's totally up to me. I asked her her professional opinion, and she said she would definitely go for the retrieval. And I said that's what I was leaning toward, and I know for a fact that's what this one would be leaning toward. And so then she said the interesting thing is that Jill was also ready to trigger. And I'll let you tell, because you spoke to her after me.
Yeah, so the doctor finished speaking with Sam and then asked if she should call me or if Sam wanted to call me and explain everything. And Sam just said, go ahead and call her. I
knew she'd have questions that I wouldn't have to ask. So
yeah, I always have questions. And so we always message on GChat or Gmail instant messaging.
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. So when Sam's at work, that's how we communicate, just so Sam's not like on her phone all day. So we're on GChats all day. So she messaged me and said, the doctor called me, and I was really nervous. And then I didn't hear back from her, so I assumed they were talking. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not be anxious, just wait to hear what she says. And then she says, okay, she's gonna call you. Like, okay, now I'm really nervous.
I didn't want to message too much because I knew that she was probably going to hang up and call her right away.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, doctor's going to call you, answer the phone. It's not her regular number.
Yeah. So I answered, and I mean, I knew it was the doctor. So I was like, hi. And she's like, it's Dr. So-and-so. I'm like, yes, hi. So super sweet. And then she explains the situation to me. She told me pretty much what she told Sam about her cycle, and then said, now the interesting thing is you're also ready to trigger tonight. And this was last night. And I was like, okay. And she said, the thing is, you only have one follicle. I have one at 18. She said, oddly enough, it's the exact same response Sam got on this protocol. So
we don't like this protocol.
We do not. So I'm going to link above the video for Sam's canceled cycle, because usually they won't retrieve unless you have 3. Like, they require 3 to retrieve. But she did tell me that the interesting thing is that we are Team Maygan. And with Sam's 3 and my 1, we actually have 4 together. So yes, I only have 1, but together we have 4. And that just ups our numbers.
Yeah, she said she was just counting it as 4, which I hadn't even thought about that when she was telling me about my 3 to 4 and Joel's 1 to 2. And she was like, if you put them together, you've got 4 plus. So I was like, oh, I hadn't even thought about that. She's like, it just ups your chances.
Yeah.
And then she said the best part in our eyes was that they can use the same vial of sperm.
Yes. So she said that she would not need to thaw 2 different vials of sperm, which is a consideration because sperm is expensive. And for all of you lesbian couples know, or anybody using donor sperm, it's hard to come by after the donor has stopped donating. Now, our donor luckily is still donating, but if and when he stops, we're out of luck. So
we have some vials purchased for later, but they're going to quickly run out if we have to keep going through everything. And we can purchase some more, but it's also very expensive. So
yeah,
it's kind of amazing that we can use 1 vial and do 2 egg retrievals for it, even though it'll only be 4 eggs. Hopefully, if they're all mature, which who knows if they will be. The doctor said she really feels that because of their size, they're all going to be mature as long as there are eggs in each one, which she believes there will be. I didn't have any last time that didn't have eggs in them, so hopefully that's a good sign.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And this is my only one, so it's really got to be like the mature good one because I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking at 4 eggs being retrieved from the 2 of us.
Hopefully more.
Hopefully, like we might have 1 approaching on me and then maybe 1 more approaching on you. So we're looking for 4 to 6 eggs retrieved.
But hopefully minimum 4.
And then using 1 vial of donor sperm, which is awesome, so that we can keep our other vials set aside for future needs. And then one of the questions I asked was if so one of the things that is not covered by our insurance is the freezing of the embryos, and it's about $1,000 every single time you freeze.
Not every embryo, every IVF cycle.
Yes. So Sam had 1 cycle where they froze 1 embryo. That was $1,000. And then this next cycle for Sam would be $1,000. I was concerned, will it be $1,000 and then $1,000? Because we are 2 separate patients having 2 separate egg retrievals, and the doctor said she does not believe that that is the case because we are a team, because we are married, and they are pooling our embryos together, basically. They will be in their own, she called it a straw, in the tank that they use for freezing. So they will be separate. They're not going to be just hanging out together.
But they'll be stored all together like they would a family.
Yes, so they'll be stored together. Oh, our babies are going to be together. That's so sweet. And then they will be frozen together. So she said, really, that's just one process. You're paying for the process of freezing. So I was like, that's cool. And I said,
yeah,
not that we would say, no, I'm not going to have an egg retrieval just because I don't want to pay the $1,000.
It's a nice perk, though.
It's a nice perk.
It's a nice bonus.
So we're saving a vial of sperm and we're saving a freezing.
$1,000, so.
Because honestly, if we would have retrievals on different days, that would be separate freezing processes. So processes, I'm sorry. So don't make fun of my my English
teacher.
English teacher, sorry. So my mind is a little bit blown. Like so yesterday this all happened and we were just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like how I started not only late because our cycles were not exactly the same, we baselined on different days, but then the pharmacy screwed up. They didn't send me the medicine, so
we got it like what, 2 days later?
Yeah, so we were 3 days. I mean, we still are. So day 14, day 11, we're 3 days apart.
No, day 15, day 12.
Now, yes, yes. Today we are day 15 and day 12.
And we're gonna retrieve on day 16 and day 13.
13, yes.
We're retrieving tomorrow. So
yeah, kind of crazy. I just can't wrap my mind around the fact that it worked out that way. Just because the doctor said she really didn't think that was. I mean, not that she didn't think it was possible. She just thought it would be highly unlikely that would happen. And she said, you know, you could have retrievals on the same day if your cycles synced up, but that's highly unlikely with starting at different days, baselining on different days, starting stims on different days. I started with
being different people.
You started with estrogen priming. We were at different dosages of medicine. Now our dosages increased.
They had gotten to the same point.
They had gotten to the same point, but at different days. I stayed
at the highest you could do for a week.
I guess you just stim longer, which we knew that, and then I stim.
Well, I had one or two that were big enough a couple days ago, but I think they were on the small side of big enough, and I think they're just waiting to get the other one up. So, which I'm grateful they did.
One of the things the doctor did tell me on the phone was, for myself, she said, of course, we could continue to stim and see if the second follicle can get there, but the larger follicle, the 18, she said, we really do run the risk of that becoming too large, and then therefore it won't fertilize and divide like it should. So you really run the risk of like losing that one. So she said you don't want to overdo it, and so that's why they really can't stim you much longer than your body can take it. So hopefully I can get a second one. I'm gonna stay really positive because I did see 2 at some point where one was over 10 and one was right at 10. So maybe. I'm not sure about yours. Did you see one approaching?
The one that was, I think it was probably like 11-ish. It was like hidden behind, I think the two of the big ones. And the ultrasound tech yesterday happened to see it and measured it. And we're like, oh, that one had been missed the whole time because it was kind of like hidden behind the other one. So it kind of goes to what our doctors told us, is that, you know, I think we'll at least get what we're seeing. But when we get in there, we often find ones that we're hiding that we weren't able to see on the monitoring ultrasound. So we'll see if it's bigger than, it was hard to see, but it was definitely there. And there was 2 of the ultrasound techs in my room because one was training. They both saw it. So we'll see. I don't know that it can get, I mean, it's 11, so it could grow another, what, 4 in the time. So that would be 15, which I'm not really sure if that's quite big enough. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is where we're at. So tomorrow we have our retrieval. By the time you're seeing this, we will have already had our retrieval, and we're going to be waiting for results to see if our little eggies fertilize, and then if we have embryos to freeze. At this point, we're just trying to like set up our family. We're just trying to get as many embryos we can.
Yes. While we are so lucky that we have the coverage that covers a lot of this. I mean, the cost of the freezing, the cost of the sperm, that's all on us. But we know we're so lucky because the cost of the medication and the cost of the procedures is, for the most part, covered. Yeah. We're paying a fraction of it. So we're so lucky, and we just want to get that. You know, along with our low AMH, you know, that's like a ticking clock very loudly on our
It's getting louder,
and,
yes.
Yeah, and our doctor feels the same way.
Yeah.
So, you know, that combined with the insurance kind of just makes it a good time for us to just collect as many as we can, as is safe to do. Yeah. So
what was the funny thing that you and the doctor agreed on yesterday?
So she was like, who would have thought a married couple, 2 women with 2 reproductive systems, and we can't get any eggs out of either of them. And I was like, I know. I've told everyone we are the worst lesbian couple in history. And our doctor started cracking up, and she said, you are. She's really sweet and really nice, so I didn't take any offense to that. I was like, no, we are. She's like, no, really, I never would have thought I would have seen this. So we are first for her. So
at least we can be something special in her practice that she's seen and she is treated. So.
Yeah, every couple after she's like, no, don't worry. There's one couple.
I've seen it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyways, it is our 4th of July, so we are going
Hence
to
our outfits.
So we are gonna go enjoy with family, have a pool party, and then see some fireworks, hopefully, if it doesn't get rained out. But we hope you had a fantastic 4th of July and a great holiday weekend.
Keep your fingers crossed that we get at least 4 out and that they fertilize.
Yeah. Like and subscribe if you have not, and definitely leave us some comments down below because we're still wrapping our minds around this.
It's
and
crazy.
So, yeah, so just let us know what you think, and we will be back for hopefully some embryo updates. Bye.
Bye. Happy 4th.